different light. There we go, much better. What's up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of Welcome back. Glad y'all here. Glad y'all joining me today. Yeah, I cannot believe my video on Thursday did not do that well. 6 or 7 views. Didn't do well at all. I figured that one would do good too. Because everybody's doing Amazon crap. Like, they're getting on Amazon, they're ordering a whole bunch of crap. So I really figured that one would really... And everybody wants to be on YouTube. I want to be on YouTube. I'm on YouTube. Got a lot of videos on YouTube. Just need to get that subscriber count up. I'm at 37 now. Thank you. Thank you. Every one of you. Thank you. My goal is to hit 1,000. So, whatever you're doing right now, you could flip your phone right side up, and right there it is, in that corner on the right-hand side. Hit subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Whenever you get done with it, you're like, hey, that's a pretty good video. Hit that like button and share it. I'd greatly appreciate it. Thank you. So, that's the rant for the day. I wasn't really a rant, I was talking. Anyway, let's get into the vlog. We have got a good story today. Got a good vlog for you. I'll never forget this day. This was the day that I harvested that guy right there. That was a cool hunt. At the time, it was the biggest buck that I had ever harvested. Oh my goodness, what a day that was. So before I harvested him, what went into it? So I was hunting some public land, northern Baxter County, right on the Missouri line. And I was in there. Me and an old buddy of mine went and set up some trail cameras up on a deer trail that he used to hunt. He was hunting in a completely different spot at this time. He said, I've seen a lot of deer out here. There's a lot of big bucks that pass through here. He said, especially during rut. But it was the first week of season. He said, sit right here. And he said, I guarantee you, you'll shoot a big buck. Okay, deal. So we set the trail camera up and we go back every once in a while and check it. Had a couple small bucks on it. Had a really cool tight racked mass, lots of mass, 8-point. But I think he only came in once and he didn't hang around very long. He came in with a group of does. He was a young deer. My buddy at the time got pictures of him done by his stand, so we knew that he was doing a lot of traveling, so I probably wasn't going to get to harvest him anyway. Every day that we are going up to check cameras, we kept seeing this buck. Kept seeing him. And he was in the same spot every time. My buddy looked at me and he said, I bet that if you go in there on that shelf, he said, there's a food plot right here on top. Then there's that shelf. And then on this side of the food plot, there's a funnel that goes down toward the lake. He said, I bet if you go in there and find you a good flat spot around that shelf, he said, I bet you will kill a deer right there. I bet you'll kill that deer. And I was wanting this deer. I mean, at the time, that was the biggest one that I was seeing. Didn't get a whole lot of bucks on camera, just smaller bucks, except for that tight, tall joker. So I'm like, all right, I'll do it. I mean, what's there to lose? As soon as rut gets here, this place is going to come alive anyway. So we set the camera up by that funnel. We weren't getting any pictures, and we are the weekend. It was the Friday night before deer season started. The next day, that's when deer season started. So I'm sitting there and hang the climbing stand up, go back, talk about it, and ate a delicious dinner. I remember that. It was a very delicious dinner. Went to sleep, woke up early the next morning, and we hit the woods. Another old buddy of mine was hunting this hill, probably about 1.5 to 2 miles away from me. He hung his stand up and started hunting out of that one. I was the last one. I was the last guy. A buddy of mine that helped me find the place, he was hunting closer to his grandpa's place. I had the furthest walk, the biggest climb. Yeah, but it was worth it. It was really worth it. So the first morning I sat there, seen a doe and a little one, and they were in that funnel. And the funnel was set probably between 20 and 23 yards away from my deer stand. Or the deer stand I was sitting in wasn't my deer stand, it was my buddy's. And so I'm sitting there and I'm going to shoot the big doe. Grab my bow, start drawing back, and at the time I'm using a Hoyt Powerhawk with a Carbon Express, I think that's what it's called, the Carbon Express expandable broadheads. So I go to draw back on that joker. The little one seen me, which in return, Mama seen her, like, what's she looking at? Looks up, oh crap, yep, there's somebody right there. They took off. About an hour or two later, this other doe walks in. I'm going to shoot her. Once again, looks right up at me, takes off. Okay, something's not right, and I got to get this figured out. Luckily, I didn't see that buck that morning. That evening, or it wasn't that evening, I went back. The rest of them, the other two, they stayed at the house till about a couple hours before dark. I left about 2:30. First day of season, I'm hunting hard. And get set up back there about 3 o'clock, between 2:30 and 3, get set up. About 4, had a doe come in. I got higher this time, had a doe come in and shot right over her back. About 5:30, had another doe come in. She came in from my right. There was some brush kind of right there in front of me, and I was expecting them to come from the left. She got where that funnel is, and she got right in front of me, and there was some brush there. And so I go draw back, and I'm waiting until she gets in that little clearing. But once she gets in that little clearing, she's quartered hard away from it. I'm like, all right, put that arrow right kind of behind her rib cage there, shoot for that other shoulder. Shot over her back. Probably about an hour before dark, so we're probably talking 6:30 or so. I look over at that funnel, and there's a doe standing there. Okay, I go to get my bow, and I seen something else walking kind of up the hill a little bit from her in that little clear cut, and I'm like, there's another deer right there. So I'm just going to kind of sit patient and see what happens. Well, she starts going up toward that food plot. Now she's going up toward that food plot. That other deer circles around, and it starts coming up that funnel. It was that guy. I immediately knew that that was him. Immediately. I'm like, there he is, right there. First day of season, second set. That's him. Draw back, and I put it right on him and shot. And the arrow didn't pass through, and it was kind of back. Like, that's kind of weird. But he took off down the hill toward the lake. So then I'm texting everybody, hey, I killed him. All right, that one buddy of mine said, well, he said, just give him a little time. He said, we'll be there after a while. Well, I couldn't wait, that was the biggest buck I ever killed or shot at the time. My other buddy said, I'm on my way. The one that was closest to me. And he walked the whole way there. He met me at the blood trail, and he said, well, he says you got blood. And I said, yeah, I got blood. But it stopped. He said, it stops? And I said, yeah, it stops. I left my backpack and bow and everything right there where there was last blood. He said, well, let's try to get on it again. I thought the deer went over the funnel, the back side of the ridge, but he didn't. He cut down going toward the lake. We get on the blood trail again. We're following it. We're at about probably 100 yards maybe. Travis, he says, I'm expecting to see a dead deer anytime. We wasn't. We was on the left side of the funnel there, and he said, I'm expecting to see a dead deer around a tree. He was just spewing blood. The blood trail's heading right toward the funnel, so we get right there at the funnel again and look up, and he's laying right there on the right side of it, across the funnel again. He was heading toward water, and he said, right there he is. And we was both looking at him, and he said, he's still alive. I'm like, you're kidding. He said, no. He says, you're going to have to put another one in him. Of course, at this time, it's dark. He says, you're going to have to put another one in him. I said, I ain't got my bow. He said, what do you mean you ain't got your bow? I said, I left it up there at the deer stand. He said, back out of here real quiet. Get up the hill about 50 yards. He said, you take off running. He said, we don't want to lose this deer. So I backed out real quietly, and I took off running. By the time I got back, it was like pitch black dark. All we had was flashlights. He said, put another one in him. I said, man, I don't know how far he is. I said, I can't see. I have a hard time seeing. I had cataract surgery at 23. He said, I want to hold the light on him. He said, you put another one in him. I said, I can't see him through my peep sight. I can't. He said, well, I'll get behind you. So he got behind me. I think he pulled out his cell phone, and he had the flashlight held up there. He says, can you see? I said, I think so. Drawing back. The deer stands up. He says, you better hurry. And I'm trying to get on him, trying to find him. And he took a step and he fell down, and he started kicking. He said, well, I think he's done. We go over there, and we're kind of walking around him and poking him, make sure he's dead, so we didn't get injured or killed ourselves. He was dead. But we didn't find the arrow, and I mentioned that to him. I said, man, we never found the arrow. He said, no. He said, come to think of it, we never did. Of course, I'm all excited, because I got the biggest deer of my life so far. So he said, we're going to have to gut him, because it was warm out. He said, we're going to have to gut him. We had a long drag. We started gutting him, turned him over. My arrow was underneath him. The blades never opened out of those broadheads, and I was mad. Turned out I hit liver. It was just a pinhole. I could have shot him with a field point, did just as much damage. So that was the last time I used these broadheads, to say the least. That was the very last time I used these broadheads. And I started using Schwackers, and now I'm up to the Slip Cam Broadheads. I use slick tricks and whatnot. But these Slip Cam Broadheads that Corey with Car Doctor 2 that he sells, these slip cams are just awesome. I have not had a pass through on a deer in several years, and this year I had two. I shot my bow twice at 2 deer and had 2 pass throughs. So I am behind these Slip Cam Broadheads 100%. Anyway, that was the story of this guy right here, the Destiny buck. That's what I call him, because it was just almost destiny. I kept seeing him, and then bam, first day, second sit, killed him. Anyway, if you like these Tuesday stories, hit that thumbs up and let me know that you like them. I like telling them. Like I said, I like telling them. I like reminiscing on them. They're just fun to kind of look back and the good memories that I had back then. And so hit that thumbs up if you like these Tuesday stories. Hit that subscribe button. We are at 37 on our way to 1,000. So hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. Hit that share button. Turn those notifications on so you know when the videos are hot off the press. The links to everybody from Corey with Car Doctor 2, Lauren Adams Western Store, and Jeremiah with Judd's Taxidermy is all in the description box below. Also follow me on Instagram, TripleTV86. All of it is in the description box below. So until Thursday, I'll see you all on the next one.